Hello, this is Superintendent Andy Kowalczyk, and this is the PASD Monthly March episode. Both Linwood and Central Elementary will be meeting with families and registering students for next year's kindergarten class this month on March 7th. Linwood Elementary will have a fun night of STEM and reading for families on March 13th from 5 until 6:30 p.m. We hope you can join the fun. Our winter sports are wrapping up. Boys basketball had a great year, including a first-round win in the district tournament. Girls districts start March 4th. We will have two ladies participating in the MHSAA state tournaments. Layla St. Peter in bowling and Kennedy Cloutier in wrestling. We wish them the best of luck at states. Our first interview this month is with powerlifter Jasmine Brazo. Jasmine will be competing in the MHS State Powerlifting Tournament and also in the USA National Competition this summer. I am here with student Jasmine Brazo. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a junior at Pinconning High School. I work at the cheese store. I like to do basketball, love that, but I stopped doing it.
So you are very involved in powerlifting. Tell me how you got into that.
I got involved with powerlifting after seeing all the guys in the weight room one day when my dad was coaching for football and baseball. And I see him working out, and I was like, ooh, I really like this. So I started talking to the guys in the weight room, and I'm like, what do you guys do? And I just started talking to them. And then the next day, I started going in the gym, working out nonstop. I'd be in the gym for 2 hours straight. But I started weightlifting, and then I got involved with meets with other schools, and there's 30 schools involved. Besides that, I really enjoy weightlifting. I think everyone should be doing it just to get started for sports, or if they're not doing sports, I feel like they should be involved.
So tell me about a competition. How does it work? What goes into it?
How it works is you have to do your regular stuff, like bench, deadlift, squat, your main. You'll do those 3 different times in a lift. Mine, for my deadlift, I would do 195 or 205 to start off with, and then I would go up to my highest. It's whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever.
So you pick the weights
Yes,
that you want.
You pick.
But if you see somebody is ahead of you at 210 and you want to try to beat him, you can go to 215, right?
Yes.
That's how that works. Okay.
Normally when somebody's up ahead of me, like my last meet, she did 255. I needed to do 260 to get ahead of her. Well, I tried my best. I didn't really get to beat her in that, but I was very thankful for the girl that beat me, though.
Pushed you. She pushed you.
She pushed me,
Yeah.
and besides meeting other schools, you get to meet other people from from your weight class. You have different weight classes also in your powerlifting meets, 105 to up. It's kind of like wrestling too.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing about it is that you get to meet new people, and the girls love to support you. It's not even, there's no negativity about it. It's all positive. So
tell me about the nationals. I hear you're going to Louisiana.
Nationals is completely different from MHSPLA. It is a USA meet where they only do it in the summertime, and it's completely different. You only go on one platform, and it's all age group too. You can go from let's say 10 to 60 or something. It's all age group. And my dad said, oh hey, there's a USA meet, you should do it. And I was like, sure, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. Well, as soon as I did it, I loved it. I actually love it way more than the school competitions.
So what's different?
USA, I would say, is the best way to do a meet first, then MHS. Because USA, you get to do a lot more. And it's in kilograms too. That's the thing about it. Kilograms to pounds, I should say, is completely different. So when I go up to say my weight, I have to be 215.5 or whatever.
So you're doing math.
Yeah.
What's your favorite event?
My favorite is deadlift.
Deadlift. Why? What makes that one
It's
fun?
my favorite and because I know how much weight I can do and I know I can get heavier and heavier each time. I love squat, but the thing is your depth. You have to go so low for that it's harder and harder each time. And that's the thing about USA too. Their depth is a lot lower than MHS. Like even like I said for the weights, I will write them down on my arms so I know how to do it.
So when is your next meet?
My next meet is next week for states.
Okay. Where's that at?
That is at Lake Orion.
Okay. Good luck on that. And then when is the national event?
Nationals is the first week of April, which is our spring break.
Cool. And we have a macaroni and cheese event coming up to help with that. What's the date for that?
That is actually Saturday this weekend.
Okay.
For the fundraiser.
And that's at Wilson's
Wilson
Cheese Store. That's great. All right. Well, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next student interview is with Ken and Tyler Frank. These boys burn off energy in the boxing ring. All right. Tell me your name and a little bit about yourself.
My name's Kenny Frank. I'm in 4th grade, and I like Star Wars.
Star Wars. Great.
My name's Tyler, and I'm in 3rd grade, and I like penguins.
Penguins. That is awesome. All right. I heard you guys do some boxing. Tell me what about boxing. What do you do when you're there?
We usually, first we get, stretch, and then we run. It depends what season it is. If it's, summer, we run around the mall. Mm-hmm. If it is, winter and cold, we just run it inside. And then we get our hand wraps on. You can do whatever you want. You can, have stations. So it could be heavy bag, speed bag, and then you can jump rope, also shadow boxing. And you can do the other stuff for the time you're there, and then you can just leave.
Do you spar with people?
I sparred with a few kids older than me.
How about you? Have you sparred?
A couple times.
Students or boxers?
Kids older than me, 2 years older than me.
Do you actually get hit?
Yeah.
You get hit when you get sparring? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You have the full headgear on though, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you like boxing outside of school? Do you watch boxing ever?
No.
Not really?
We watch a little bit when our stepdad's watching it. Because he'll watch documentaries about it, so we'll also watch it with him. Our stepdad said, hey, you should get into this because it'll get some of your energy out and it might help you out at school.
That is great. How do you think boxing helps you at school?
Following the rules.
Good. Yeah, I'm assuming there's a lot of rules you have to follow in boxing, especially with what you said, wrapping your hands and things. There's a lot of things that you have to do.
It's kind of hard wrapping your hands because I have adult ones and they're really big, so I gotta pull my sleeve up and wrap it around my hand a couple times and then around my wrist.
So what's your favorite part about boxing?
Probably hitting the heavy bag a couple times.
How about you?
Sparring.
Sparring, yeah. Do you have stuff at home? Do you have a heavy bag or anything at home, or is it all at the gym?
At my dad's, we have a bag that has the sand or the water at the bottom, and you can just hit it. We have that, but we don't usually use it to box. We used to do taekwondo, so we used it to taekwondo, and then we had a heavy bag outside, and we hanged it up on a tree. And we had our garage, and there's a heavy bag in there, and there's a pull-up bar.
How about actual boxing matches? How old are you, or when would you do that? Would you ever think about doing that, or?
I don't know. I kind of like football or baseball or basketball. I'm not really
Not sure you want to box against other people.
Not like that.
Okay. And this is in Bay City?
Bay City, what's the other one? Saginaw?
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Our final interview is with Saginaw Spirit goalie Andrew Oakey. I wanted to talk to Andrew about school, being a professional athlete, and getting ready for the 2024 Memorial Cup being hosted in Saginaw. So thank you for being here today. Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, what you do, and maybe what you like to do when you're not playing hockey.
Yeah, so I grew up actually close to here. I'm from Shelby Township, Michigan, about an hour 20 away. I like to golf outside of the rink. I like to hang out with friends, play some cards. I actually have a lake in my backyard back home, so I go fishing there a lot. And I have one brother and two dogs, and then both my parents as well. So I'm blessed.
Awesome. Cool. Well, being a high level athlete while in school is difficult, I'm sure. Did you have any specific strategies or routines that you would follow so that you could excel in both the classroom and on the ice?
Yeah, honestly, when I was doing both, honestly, it's pretty stressful. But if you just get the help you need and you ask your teachers and your parents to help you out, and honestly, just reaching out for help was huge for me. I think that was the biggest part, and then also just staying on top of things, maybe keeping like a little journal or a little notepad
Mhm.
with me, just to make sure my days go by smooth. So I think that was the biggest part for me.
Nice. Were there any significant challenges you faced during high school, either in sports or academics, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, tight schedules with hockey and high school as well and stuff like that. So some challenges that I faced were basically just kind of making sure I get my stuff done on time. And, a lot of the times I actually have to text my teacher or whoever was helping me, either give me an extension or do, what I mean, find different ways to
Yeah.
kind of do the assignments or read the book or do this or that. So just kind of just trying to find new ways to kind of, enjoy it while I'm playing hockey and get it done and stay on top of everything.
Did you play hockey at Utica, or were you at more of a club sport situation?
Yeah, no. So when I was at Utica, actually, so my first year was like the COVID year. So
Oh,
then I'd have to do online. I know.
mm,
So the COVID year was pretty tough. And then I played a season here in Saginaw, and then I went back to Utica. So I never really played like club or anything back at Utica. I
okay.
was always up here at Saginaw, which was nice. I think middle school is like the only one where like I truly like live from home. But like coming up here was when I went to Utica. So then I finished the 1 year and then went back to Utica for like the last like 2 months. So then I still got to do prom and homecoming and all that different type of stuff. So that was really, really cool. And yeah, and it wasn't that bad kind of coming back into like high school because I got to see all my friends and,
Right.
teachers always helped me out. They understood that,
Great.
I had a tough schedule and stuff like that. So I'm trying to find like a good story. I don't know if I have like a good story.
It doesn't have to be. It can be simple.
Yeah. Honestly, my favorite high school memory was like going to homecoming prom. I think that was big, just because I got to see my friends, and it's a fun night. So
Yeah, cool. That's pretty popular. When I ask a lot of
oh
people,
yeah, oh
normally this
yeah,
is an alumni thing that I do, with
yeah.
people that are doing
I
high
also
school,
like
but
gym class. Gym class was a lot of fun too. Obviously like I'm a sports guy,
yeah,
so and all my other teachers are great too. Actually, I do kind of have like a little bit of a story.
all right.
We had this stock market class as soon as I got back from doing the season up here, and we did this stock market game where like you have to buy like stocks in like real time, and at the end of the year, like I was first place out of everyone too. So after just joining the class, so it was pretty cool.
So did you take it pretty seriously, or was it more of
Yeah, no,
a fun
I'm
thing?
in. Yeah, I'm into that kind of stuff as
Yeah,
well. So
that's
it
awesome.
kind of excited me as well. So I think you just gotta kind of find something that you like and you're
Mhm.
excited about, and kind of
Yeah.
just go with it. So
Do you think your academic performance impacted your ability to pursue athletics in hockey?
oh yeah, I think it taught me to stay organized, and I think it kind of just kept my days busy and filled, so I felt good about myself. And honestly, school in general is like super important. You gotta get the good grades. You gotta stay on top of things, and it just teaches good life lessons as well. So I think it really helped me out and kind of just paved a good path. I always thought about college too. Like I always thought about playing college hockey and going
Yeah.
to college. But I think this kind of suits me better to where I'm kind of just like picking and choosing what I
Yeah.
want. And
Being a professional athlete is a dream for many middle and high school students. Are there some things that you missed out on or were not able to do with friends because you
oh
know
yeah.
how important the hockey was and the training?
Yeah, so that's kind of like one of the biggest things was like the sacrifices of it all.
Yeah.
And I miss like multiple spring breaks. I miss like when all like you graduate your senior year and you go to Cancun or whatever. So I missed out on a lot of that, but I'm kind of glad I got to go to homecoming and prom still. So you got to be blessed for what
Mhm.
you got, and honestly, I wouldn't probably trade it for hockey either, and all the memories I've made here. So yeah, there is a lot to sacrifice and a lot to think about. But there was definitely some things where I was like, dang, like I wish I could have went to that, or I wish I could have went to this. But in the long run, it's all gonna pay out. So
So we've got a pretty important tournament coming up here in Saginaw with the Memorial Cup. Tell me a little bit
oh
about
yeah.
that. How cool is that or important to have in Saginaw?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's an honor. It's one of the biggest junior tournaments in the world, and probably one of the hardest cups to win out of all the sports. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here as well and be here my full 3 years, and then we get the Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be really fun, and hopefully everybody can show out and give us the support we need. So I'm just super excited, and I can't wait. And it's in June as well, so kind of a bit of ways away, but I know
Yeah.
it'll go by fast. So I just can't wait to get there.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it. That's awesome. I thank you for doing
Perfect.
this, taking some
Yeah,
time
no
out for
problem.
this. March 4th is the final virtual mental health series from Parent Guidance. The topic for this session is social media, protecting your child by staying aware and involved. You can anonymously attend the session by following the QR code or link in the bottom of this flyer. The week of March 11th is Yellow Ribbon Week for Pinconning High School. Yellow Ribbon Week is hosted by our peer mentors and focuses on suicide prevention and awareness. The theme for this year, Be the Rainbow in Someone Else's Cloud, and Kindness is Golden. Students will be able to get chocolate coins, bracelets, mints, and entry into a drawing by participating in events that spread kindness and support. On Thursday, students will also see guest speaker Anthony Grupido. Thank you, peer mentors, for the work on this important week and topic. Okay, hi, I am here with Barb Smith and I have a few questions that pertain to our Yellow Ribbon Week that is coming up. So, Barb, tell me about what you do and a little bit about the Suicide Resource and Response Network.
Hi, students and families. We are the Suicide Resource and Response Network. We are based here out of Saginaw County, but we serve the whole state of Michigan. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connecting people to resources, and then to support people impacted. So, what that really means is we do a lot of trainings and education. It can be Yellow Ribbon, which is the youth suicide prevention. We go into the schools and we talk about recognizing a concern, how to ask your friends the question, and then what resources are in the community. And as an advocate or as a resource, what we do is if you're struggling or you have a family member or yourself, we're not an emergency line, but we can help find you the resources in the community, what counseling, what agencies can best support you to lessen whatever stressors you have. And then the sad part is we have to do something called postvention. And that means after someone does take their life, our network is here for you to help walk you through your grief, to give you some hope, to help you figure out how to live this life without the person you lost. So we have to, like, we're really blessed to be able to do the prevention piece, which is what we love to do, right? And then the postvention, we hope that we do less postvention and more prevention. That's really our goal.
Oh, that is great. Can you tell me a little bit about why you think the Yellow Ribbon Week is important for our students?
I think Yellow Ribbon Week is really important because for our students, our students are really to me, you're the forefront. Your friends are going to talk to you oftentimes before they go to the adults. And we need our students to be the eyes and ears of their peers. We need them to be the ones, the champions, to recognize what's going on and then to feel comfortable in asking for help from a trusted adult. So the more awareness that our students can bring to the surface, the more they're really going, our students really are going to be our future. Sometimes the older people, like we stay away from the word suicide or mental illness. And so we're trying to change the dialogue, and our students are really going to be in the forefront of that. So I'm proud of them and your willingness to do Yellow Ribbon in your school district.
That's great. That leads me right into my next question. I think sometimes it's not easy for a friend to go to an adult to kind of tell on them or report on them when they're struggling.
Yeah.
Have any advice for students who have that friend who may be suffering from depression and how they can help that student?
You know what? I think even for myself as an adult, it's hard when
Yeah,
someone comes to me and talks about suicide. I'm like, I don't want to overreact and I don't want them mad at me. And what if
right.
I say something wrong? So I don't think there's a difference between even adults and our friends, right? Our youth. So I think for our students to know that if your friend is struggling, they really do need you to be their voice, because sometimes they're in such a dark space that they're afraid to tell adult, they're afraid to tell their parents, and they struggle alone. And that's not really fair to them. And it's not fair to you to be the only one that knows the secret. And then you worry about your friends, and you're supposed to be in sports, and you're supposed to be
Yeah.
studying, and right, and you're in school, and yet you're worried about your friends because you want to keep it a secret.
Right.
But the problem is secrets do kill.
Hmm.
And we see that a lot. Like after someone dies, we find out their friends knew some of the story, their friends knew, and it's not because they didn't care, they just
Right.
didn't know what to do with the information. So we encourage students to go to a trusted adult, whether it's your teacher, your coach, your principal, your parents, but make sure it's someone that you trust, that you know is going to do the right thing. Telling other students isn't as valuable because then you start to get that gossip in the schools, right?
Yep.
So if you go to the trusted adults who will keep it, to just the person who's struggling and then yourself, then we can help protect them from sometimes that shame. So the most important thing that any friend can do is to tell a trusted adult when you are having a concern, and don't wait till it's a major crisis. Maybe parents are going through divorce. Maybe your dog died. Maybe you have a breakup. Sometimes depression, you can't think, you can't sleep, you're confused, you're angry all the time, you hate everybody. Those are really signs of maybe some type of a mental health, like depression or anxiety. So sometimes the signs are what your friends are going to see most. And when you see that in your friend, you should just, I call it a check-in. I don't ever say, how you doing? Because we all say, oh, I'm fine.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you talk to a friend, you just say, hey, I'm checking in with you. There's a lot of things I noticed about you lately that make me wonder if you're having thoughts of suicide. Like I see you're losing a lot of weight. You're not showing up to ball practice. You don't hang out with us. You're really mean to everybody all the time.
Hmm.
And I'm really worried about you as a friend. So I'm going to ask you a question and ask him, are you struggling? Are you thinking about killing yourself? Like what's going on here? And then take your friend to the trusted adult.
Great. Oh, that's great. So remind me a little bit about the 988 number too that students have available.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's on the back of their ID, and I think it's on your website. It's so 911 is for law enforcement. 988 is around a crisis. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can talk, text, or chat, and it's all confidential. And you can actually, it's really cool. You can actually speak it into your phone. You can say, "Hey
Oh,
Siri, I'm thinking of killing myself," and it automatically connects you.
oh
They
my.
don't send the police, they don't call your parents. It's all confidential.
Mhm.
But really what happens, and I want students and adults to know that sometimes when you call, there's so many thousands of people calling that number right now, which means it's really cool, right? It's working.
Working. Yep.
So if you call 988, you're going to hear some music at first. And what happens is it's routing you to the closest operator. So the one that's most available.
Great.
So because it's this national phone number, it's going to take a minute for the music to go through. It'll ask you to prompt if you're law enforcement, if you're LGBTQ plus, if you're Native American, and then it brings you to that person that best
Right.
understands you. So you just have to give it a minute. Don't hang up. Don't be angry. Just give it a minute to route you to the closest person, and they will help talk you through whatever you need. And if it's not you, if it's for an adult in your house, your parents, your grandparent, your siblings, they also can help you do that. So
Great.
988 is all you have to call.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Barb.
All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for joining us this month, and we will see you again after spring break in April.